Hmm. This is unbelievable. This could be one of the best books I've ever read. Is Wrestling Fixed? I didn't know it was broken. Oh, what? Oh, it's 10:30. We're on. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the live after chat, and thank you so much for joining us. You can see back here in Aptors Alley, I have a lot of memorabilia, and people are always asking me to talk about the memorabilia. And again, we will do this on another live night. But you know what? Why don't I get one piece of memorabilia to bring here before we discuss Eric Bischoff, a special autograph signing with an AEW and NXT guy. That'll come in a bit later on. And also what you thought of AEW and NXT tonight. So let's see which piece of memorabilia I'm going to bring out this evening. How about, pardon me if I'm away from the camera, how about this? How about this? This is, you see this mask? Of course you see it. You're watching, you see it. This is Rey Mysterio's. Mysterio was feuding with Dean Malenko, and he had a match where he lost the mask, and then eventually he got the mask back. After he got the mask back, my son Brandon was with me, and he gave Brandon, who was admired Rey Mysterio so much, he called himself El Mysterio and El Brando as well. But he gave Brandon this mask, and he also became El Brando, as I mentioned. So you know what? Let's just go on with this little bit of a story here, is that back here, can you all see me back here? This is the mask that my son Brandon wore as El Brando. So, yeah, so great masks there. Also I mentioned this last week. I didn't know I was going to like this book as much as I liked it. Danny Davis, The Evil Referee. Great book. All right. So what we're going to do now is we're going to, as we do every week, we're going to plug the book. Is Wrestling Fixed? Let's hear it. I know you didn't know it was broken. And welcome everyone who is in the room here. And thank you all for coming into Aptors Alley every Wednesday. And what we're going to do right now is we're going to get Mac Davis, my on-the-road correspondent, on the line. And we're going to call up our notes from this evening. And I'm going to talk about the Eric Bischoff thing pretty much at the top of the show here this morning, or this evening. We're trying to dial Mac Davis, and the Verizon is not cooperating. Let's give it a minute here. Da, 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 da. Of course, it always works during the rehearsal. I spoke to Mac just before we came on here, and so let me show you what's going on here. Verizon again is not cooperating. Okay, so what we're going to do is restart the phone. But in the meantime, let's see what all of you thought of AEW, and also what has Eric Bischoff got to do with this, Brian? I just mentioned that I have a special Eric Bischoff announcement. So you know what? While the phone is restarting, let's talk about Eric Bischoff. So can you see all the way up there? I have an award from QPW, Qatar Pro Wrestling. This does tie into this. Oh, well, thank you. Well, Mac is great. So, okay. We're getting the Moto connection back. Eric Bischoff. Okay. And why am I talking about QPW, Qatar Pro Wrestling? I got an email from the man who is QPW, Ali Marafi. He's a very, very dear friend. And we spoke the other day on IM. And Ali said, I have a big announcement to make. I want to see if let's see if we can get Verizon to cooperate again. Oh, that sounds good. I'm going to talk about Eric Bischoff. Let me see if I can get Mac on the phone. Ta-da, 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 ta-da. Again, this is, it looks like it's not dialing. So Mac, if you're if you're watching this, which I hope you are, we're having a problem connecting. So we're going to let this keep trying to dial here. And this shouldn't be happening because, as you know, every week we do have Mac here. And here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Mac, are you there? Well, Mac was telling me, are you there, Mac? Hello, hello. Mac was telling me that there are storms where he is in Georgia this evening, so he wasn't sure if he was going to get a connection.
Hello.
Oh, can you hear us? Hold on a minute. We're trying to hear you. So my apologies. Okay, Mac, can you hear us? No, we lost him again, gang. I think this might be the problem with the weather that is going on down where he lives in Georgia. Okay, all right. So enough of the suspense here. So Ali Marafi, who is the main man of Qatar Pro Wrestling, and I spoke, and he sent me an email, and he said, "Dear Bill, this is big Eric Bischoff news. We would like to inform you and your listeners and viewers on the After Chat." While we're doing this, I'm still trying to dial Mac Davis. On the After Chat, that on November 16th, QPW will organize a press conference about QPW, Qatar Pro Wrestling SummerSlam 2, the date and details, which will be in February. The champion will attend, and the champion there is Alberto Del Rio. Yes, Alberto Del Rio is the Qatar Pro Wrestling champion. And he said also at that press conference will be Eric Bischoff, who is going to make a very special announcement. QPW SummerSlam Super Slam 2 is a huge wrestling show in the Middle East with more than 25 talents and 4 legends. So there you have it. Eric Bischoff is, as you know, he's no longer with WWE. And Eric Bischoff is now going to be doing something with Qatar Pro Wrestling. So, okay, let's talk about, let me get to your, we're going to do a little different format tonight. You people are all asking questions, so let's go right to your questions. Hey, Bill. Hello, Bill. Jack Devaney, do you think that Russo and Cornette could ever patch things up or use their heat for a pay-per-view? Wow, so this is now turning into a, not what we think of AEW and NXT. This is just a general question time. So yeah, let's do some of this, and then we'll also get back to AEW, QP, and QPW. We already talked about Eric Bischoff and NXT. Russo and Cornette, would they ever patch things up? I know both of them, and I'm going to be honest with you. And a lot of people will say, "Come on, Bill." Oh, wait a minute, that might be Mac Davis. Let's see. Hey, Mac, are you there? We got you. Can you hear us now?
Just fine.
All right. One more time. We got you.
Hopefully this will be our connection, I hope.
All right. Keep talking for a minute so I can see if we can get you here. Go, you can count to 10. Let's hear. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
I don't know any more rap. That's the best rap I can give you, really, honest with you.
All right.
I love that you got on tonight.
we've got you on our speaker system here, but are you experiencing storms down there?
We have storms around us. It's very possible my signal is not coming through good, Bill.
No, it's a pretty crummy signal, but it's okay. So I was just answering the question. We're a little off topic tonight, and I'm saying let's just do like a wide open battle royal of questions here, and until 11 o'clock when we have Charlie Armstrong, Modern Vintage Wrestling, Gimmickry Entertainment, coming on with a special announcement about an AEW guy and an NXT guy that is supposed to be doing a signing together. So, and I know you know what this is about. You mentioned it to me before, and I told you were correct, but we have to kayfabe everybody right now till Charlie gets here, okay?
Absolutely. I don't even know who Julie is.
All right. So the question was, Bill, do you think that Russo and Cornette could ever patch things up or use their heat for a pay-per-view? I don't think they will use their heat for a pay-per-view. I don't think Cornette wants to patch things up. I think Russo has said in the past that he would be okay doing that, or at least he talked to the guy. But then there was that protection notice. So there's a lot going on here. I'm going to be honest with you, and a lot of people are going to go, "Whoa, I like both of them. I really do. I love Jimmy Cornette. Known him since he was a photographer for the magazines that I worked for. He's shot the Andy Kaufman, Jerry Lawler match for us. And I know Vince Russo did help create that, the Attitude Era. So, yeah. So what are your thoughts, Mac? Do you think Russo and Cornette could ever patch things up?
I don't believe, I believe that they could try. I don't believe that they would ever succeed because their egos, there's just so much there that goes against them. And it's just that they both have the same type of personality, upfront, in your face kind of personality. And that makes for a very rocky relationship when you try to work together.
Yeah, it does. It does. Definitely. Brian also wanted to know what happened to Doug Dillinger. Doug's retired, and he was the security man for Jim Crockett Promotions. And Jim Crockett is going to be at StarCast, and Tony Schiavone is going to be doing a stage interview with him. So I suggest that all of you go to Fight TV, and you get that whole Fight TV, FITE, Fight TV package, and that's one of the shows that I definitely want to see. Connect TV USA. Hey, Bill, what do you think of SCU as the new AEW World Tag Team Champs over the Lucha Brothers? I wanted to talk about that. They deserve it. They deserve it. It's a really good match, and all the miles that these guys put into their careers. Congratulations. What did you think of that match, Mac?
I thought that match was the best match of the night.
I did too.
Just different than the others, and it had a different feel to it. And, there's something that I thought I would like at the beginning, but the show kind of fell a little bit off. I don't think it's a step off or something. That match, unlike the first match, was the best match of the night.
Okay, so
the first match this week just didn't hit me like it has.
All right, now I got you. The first match was Hangman Page against Sammy Guevara. Want to make sure that I pronounced that correctly. And I was expecting that knockout first match that AEW is putting on every week, and you had two guys that were absolutely amazing wrestlers. And I don't know if it was, did you feel that the crowd was not as vocal in that match as we thought they'd be?
I thought the crowd was very down. I thought they were putting on their hands a lot for that particular area. That particular area usually gives you a very lively crowd.
Yeah.
I was really surprised.
Yeah. So, Mac, unfortunately, your connection isn't coming through great tonight. Every week we have a great connection with you. And you said, again, you're having storms in that area?
Yes, we are. And it's bad, Bill. I'd rather hang up and scratch it while we're talking.
Yeah. I'm going to answer some more fan questions. And we'll do this back again next week, of course, because this is a great new speaker system that was working fabulously. So I'm going to answer some fan questions, but tell us what you're up to.
Right now, I just work on a trip coming up to New York.
Yeah.
A couple of shows coming up in the Georgia area.
Okay.
But right now, I'm going to get back to the show because the weather's getting kind of rough here.
Yeah, and Brian says he's in Georgia too. Brian, what's the weather like that over there? Let us know. We're going to hang up on you, Mac. He's got less hair than me. Look at this. Yeah. But Mac has got the I have a picture of Mac right down here. Hold on. So Mac is the one with the shinier head.
Hey, I live there, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you can see this, Mac?
Oh, I can see it perfectly fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's part of Actors Alley. Mac, we're going to let you go so we can get on with answering some questions here. All right. Okay, let's get back to answering your questions. And just in a few more minutes, we will get Charlie Armstrong on here. And Charlie's going to be promoting his wrestling, etc. So let's come on in with your questions. Again, this is kind of turned around tonight. We're not just going to discuss NXT and AEW. What did you people think of tonight's show? And I'm going to call up my notes and see. So a real old school attack. And I love this. It reminded me back of the days of the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, if you will. We had Chris Jericho and the beautiful legal lady in the middle of the table, Jericho on one side, and Cody dressed impeccably on the other side. And they were going to they did the contract signing, and then as you know, Jericho got up and made like he was going to toss the table over, like every contract signing we expected, but he didn't. And then Cody took off his jacket, and they went like eye to eye. And Jericho put out his hand to shake Cody, and Cody grabbed it, and Jericho was going to turn and go away, and Cody pulled him over there. And then on the screen was Sammy Guevara, and in the background you could see that Jake Hager was beating the crap out of Dustin Rhodes along with the rest of the Inner Circle. And they took Dustin, and this was like right out of a Four Horsemen attacking Dusty thing, where they took Dustin's, first they bashed his head. I love using that word, bashed his head into the side of the limo. And then they took his arm and shut the door on it. And it was right out of the old Four Horsemen thing. So Full Gear, they're gearing up tonight with the fever for that match. So while we're talking about match and fever, let me just click out of this here. I haven't heard a lot of feedback from you people at all on my Twitter or my Facebook regarding the Crown Jewel. How many of you are going to be watching the Crown Jewel tomorrow? I'm actually going to be unavailable during the time that's on, and I'm going to be watching the replay, and it's on Halloween night. So let me know what your predictions for Crown Jewel. Is Brock Lesnar going to retain the title? Yeah, I think he is. But the big news, of course, is that Natalya and Lacey Evans are going to be the first two women ever to compete in pro wrestling in that area of the world. Now, of course, I saw an interview with Stephanie McMahon. Let me see if I can find this. I saw an interview with Stephanie McMahon talking about, hang on a minute, so let me see here if I can find that here. by the way, also while I'm looking for that, next week NXT will have the first ever women's war game match. Yeah, and that is going to be absolutely fantastic. Okay, so Stephanie McMahon. Let me go to the news here, and I'm stealing this from my friend Dave Meltzer's Wrestling Observer because Dave posted this today. The first women's match ever in Saudi Arabia. So I want to let you know what Stephanie McMahon. Okay, so Stephanie McMahon told the Bleacher Report about why Natalya and Lacey Evans, again, this is credited to the Wrestling Observer, why they were chosen for the WWE's first women's match in Saudi Arabia. And she said Natalya is somewhat of a legend in the women's division, which is true. She's the veteran. She's been here for so long, been part of so many of the changes that have happened. When you consider her legacy and family history, the Harts, it's pretty remarkable. And you take Lacey Evans, who is fairly new on the scene, but who is not. She has a young daughter, and she wants to set an example and pave the way not only for her daughter, but boys and girls all around the world. This is from the Bleacher Report. That's their personal stories, and I can't think of any better representatives for WWE. You can go on their social media. They've made some pretty awesome statements, and she said she hasn't seen the designs, this Stephanie McMahon, but I do know there are certain restrictions, and we want to be respectful of the culture there in Saudi Arabia. Their costuming will be different than what you will see in a typical WWE show. I think that's fantastic that they're doing things out there in the world. Okay, so it's 10:52. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to call Charlie Hartman about this AEW and NXT signing together at a signing. Hopefully we'll have better luck. Every one of them. I'm not in a hurry. I hope you're not either. Okay, let's call Charlie here. I hope you tone counters can't hear this. Okay, let's see if we'll connect here. Should be a better connection than.
The subscriber you have dialed is not in service.
What?
If you feel you've received this message in error.
What? Hold on a minute. Hang on a minute. This is one of these when everything can go wrong. Everything goes wrong. Okay, hang on a minute. I'm going to let's check the number. As far as I know, that number was right. So let me call this up here. Ta-da, ta-da, ta-da. You can all hum at the same time here. But I think that AEW tonight, I don't know if the crowd was as rabid as they've. And again, we're going to call Charlie from Gimmick Tree to let us know about the AEW and NXT people who are. And Charlie, if you're watching this, which I hope you are, okay, here we go. Let's try it again. Here. And you do hear that the sound was working, fans. Ta-ta-da. Okay. This should work. Good clear signal. Good clear signal. Sorry, we wanted to have. Is this Uncle Charlie Armstrong?
This is Uncle Charlie.
Yeah, Charlie and I we go way, way back, everybody. We're live right now on OneWrestlingVideo.com. And Charlie and I go way back when he first came up with Gimmick Tree Wrestling and Modern Vintage Wrestling. He was kind enough to let me in at the beginning. And he always called me Abner. Never called me Abner. Always put that N in there. And it used to drive me crazy. And now if he doesn't call me...
you used to charge me by the letter, Bill.
I know. I didn't know that. But now if he doesn't call me Abner, I think there's something going on. I think there's... And I call him Uncle Charlie. And what do you call me?
Uncle Wonka.
Uncle Wonka, Willy Wonka, and the Chocolate Factory. Wait, I got to do that. Come with me and you'll be in the world of pure imagination. Who wrote that song?
I'm gonna say Johnny Depp.
I'm sorry, it was Anthony Newley. Look him up, Google him. So, Uncle Charlie, all day today, we've been pacing around Aptors Alley here going, Uncle Charlie said that there's going to be an AWE guy and where and when this actual event is going to be.
Absolutely. It's going to be in Rome, Georgia on April the 25th. The Superstars Wrestling Fan Fest 2020. The good people at the Forum River and the good promoter down there, Sean, has reached out to me, and we are going to be coming down here, and we're bringing in several guests. Now, unfortunately for tonight, we're going to reveal one of the guests.
Wait a minute. You told us you're going to reveal both of them.
I'm sorry, Uncle Willie, but your check did not clear, so you're going to have to wait for that exclusive.
No, I know there was some contractual hushes there where you were told kind of.
Well, the issue is that we are going to, that old saying is you don't give everybody their dessert first, you kind of give them the salad, and then you get the meat, get the potatoes. We actually, on my suggestion, is that we're going to hold off and spread these announcements out so we don't completely give everybody everything too early, because we got a little bit of time between now and April. And we're going to go ahead and have a big announcement coming in the next couple of weeks. The people at Forum River have been phenomenal. They have really been backing us with this event, and we're really excited to work with Sean. He's a great promoter. This is going to be his 5th event there. And I do have a bigger announcement. Not that Billy Gunn will be joining us. I mean, one of the original members of D-Generation X and a leading force in AEW wrestling behind the scenes will be joining us live April 25th. So we're going to get that out of the way. And so that is a big announcement for us. We're going to have Billy be part of it coming. And over the course of the next couple of days, me and Scott.
That's my agent. Wait a minute. Hold on a minute now. And I know you've agented me also in the past, but is there an announcement that I might be there too?
Well, see, you just stole my thunder. That's what you just did. You just stole every bit of my thunder right there. We were going to give them, instead of an NXT announcement, we're going to give them an Uncle Willie announcement that Bill Atner will be a part of this huge fan fest. It will be incredible. You're bringing your craziness that is you, Uncle Willie, there live to Rome, Georgia, if you will, back to the Carolinas, down into the Mid-South area, down into the Georgia area. You'll be going wild that weekend.
Yeah. What you gonna do when Uncle Willie runs off after you, Uncle Charlie? But no, this is great because the original date that was last month, or was it August? I think. Unfortunately,
it was actually October 18th. It got pushed back.
Yeah.
They were having some issues with the building beyond everybody's control. Sometimes in wrestling, stuff happens, But Bill and Sean have been working feverishly. They've been burning the midnight oil. They have been contacting several vendors that are going to be part of the event. I mean, they've already got a list of who's already going to be attending, and we've added Billy Gunn tonight.
That's
and over
great.
the course of the next couple of days, we're going to be adding several more great vendors and sponsors. I know the thing guys are working hard, and we're going to be adding a lot of guests. And of course, you've already kind of let the cat out of the bag, or the Uncle Willie.
I think the fans know that I did an interview a long time ago with Billy Gunn and Road Dogg actually for Marvin Ward's promotion a while back, and Billy, both of them treated me very nastily, and they dropped the F-bomb on me, and that was taken off YouTube by TNA when they were with them. And for some reason, there's no issue with Road Dogg if he winds up being there, but Billy Gunn just doesn't like me. When he sees me, I practically gotta, get out of the way. He's very nasty to me. Yeah.
Well, he's about 3 times his size he used to be. So I mean, I would be if you need a place to hide at, please hide underneath the. Please don't hide underneath my merchandise table.
Well, no, but I can hide. I used to be able to hide behind you, but you're on a diet, so I can't do that.
Yes, I'm actually on this incredible diet. I've lost 24 pounds in over 17 days.
Well, that's great. That's great. But wait a minute. So with Billy Gunn, perhaps you can talk to him to let him know that I have nothing against him, but a lot of fans have seen even at WrestleCons that he is.
Unfortunately, the spoiler alert. Well, it's not a spoiler alert. It's a fact. As a good friend of mine was saying wrestling, that Billy Gunn's not coming alone to this fan fest. So I would, whatever arrangements you need, Uncle Willie, to make right by them. But that's here or there. But
well, my buddy Ronnie from Atlas Security is now with AEW, so I know I can't call him. So I might have to equalize this and ask my friend. You
definitely might have to call somebody.
You know who I might call?
Who's that?
You remember Mr. E, the bodyguard in New York?
Yes.
And you've used him for security. I might have to bring Mr. E with me.
Or maybe the people who. Your insane mask friend that you always shows up.
Oh, insane Bill Mascolo, who was a combination of Mil Mascaris, the Insane Clown Posse, and the dangerous Barry Manilow.
Yes.
Yeah.
But no, I want to honestly take this moment to thank the forum and Sean. Down there, they've been working extremely hard. I know that they're going to be producing an incredible event. It's going to be the biggest fan fest they've ever produced. And I want to just take a moment to thank Scott Wilder, teaming up with him.
He's the best.
2 top agents myself, including with him. There's going to be an incredible guest that we're planning on bringing into this fan fest. And, never know who all we are going to be bringing to this fan fest. So you got to stay tuned. We want to thank OneWrestling.com, obviously, for allowing us to come on here tonight, and you as well, Uncle Wonka. But what did you think of AEW tonight?
Well, we talked about that before you came on the air with us. I thought it was a good show, but I felt tonight it leveled off a bit. It was more of that comfortable, I watch this every week show. Did you get that same feeling?
I'm a biased kind of guy, to be honest with you. I'm a WWE guy. You know what I mean? I just, I'm an NXT WWE guy. I love what Cody's doing. I love what, the brand is doing. But, there's always a saying in Vegas, always bet on black. And I would always say bet on Vince and bet on NXT. Okay.
All right. NXT had a very hot show tonight, and they announced that next week, for the first time ever, and this will be on NXT next week, that they're going to have a female War Games match, which I can't wait to see that.
That's kind of the cool thing about NXT, right? Because NXT is typed in with obviously WWE, and you never know what Raw or what SmackDown superstars will show up, or what NXT European stars will show up, and by them doing first time women's War Games, how incredible would that be?
All right. Well, where can people find more about, of course, the Fan Fest coming to
obviously we'll have stuff up in the next couple months. Me and Scott Wilder will have stuff up on our individual pages, but you can anytime go to the old Google machine, throw in Superstars Wrestling Fan Fest. It'll pop up on the Facebook page. It'll also pop up on some of the previous events there in Rome, Georgia. We're really excited about the event, and you never know, like I said, who's always going to be a part of this event.
Okay.
That coming in the next couple of weeks.
All right, and I will get my armor ready for Billy Gunn, and I'm very serious about this. People might be going, ha 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 ha, but for some reason, you know what? He used to yell at me. He used to yell at me about the award plaques from PWI. He used to yell at me about that he wasn't on the cover, and we put all these people on the cover that didn't believe. So this goes way back to the magazine days.
Well, unfortunately, I mean, you're the thing is, though, I mean, a lot of people didn't know that, you always make up these stories that you didn't control that stuff, but you did control that stuff. So you probably made that man mad.
No. I didn't control that, but listen, you know what? I'll tell you what. Why don't we cut an old school promo? Because I can still do that. Why don't you be the interviewer and ask me about Billy Gunn? Go ahead. I'll look right out into the camera and let's do this.
Uncle Willie, Uncle Wonka, the one and only master of the magazine SmackDown tonight. Mr. Ass himself, Billy Gunn. What do you got to say about Mr. Gunn?
I'm scared. Please don't hit me. Thank you. Uncle Charlie, thank you, sir.
Very good.
That's it. Well, I knew you'd like that. I went right into my Jerry Lewis mode. Uncle Charlie, thanks for being with us. I got a lot of questions from people in the After Chat room here right now. And
sure.
You want to stay on the line?
Sure.
Yeah,
sure.
Why don't you? Okay, so let's go down here. Razviel Ramos, he's a weekly. What are my thoughts on intergender wrestling? Well, I always, you know what? Andy Kaufman, of course, was the intergender champion for many, many, many years. I have no issue on intergender wrestling. Charlie, have you promoted any intergender matches?
Yes. I have. I think that, I think at this point in time that it is almost intergender matches don't exist anymore, because I think that the athletes that some of the women competitors are now, i.e. Kelly, Lessa Blanchard, almost considered superstars at this point together.
Yeah, I agree. Hey, Bill. This is from Connect TV USA. Well, we talked about SCU winning the championship tonight. Yeah, that was very cool, wasn't it? They deserve it. They've done so many miles. SCU is they earned that AEW Tag Team Championship. Do you agree?
I mean, and a cheap plug for myself. I mean, SCU did have their final independent match.
Yes.
With Modern Vintage Wrestling and Gimmickry Entertainment Wrestling in New Jersey, which can be watched on Fight TV for just a low price of just $9.99.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And by the way, one of the fans here said, Chris Maloney says, I haven't supported a Crown Jewel yet, but will finally tomorrow. Will you be watching the WWE's Crown Jewel tomorrow?
Yes. Throughout my work day, I will find time to tune into it. I think they've got a very interesting card. I think that this is a unique culture. I watched the press conference today that they did. I think it's a very unique opportunity of what they're doing overseas. Yeah,
now for the first time ever in Saudi Arabia, the ladies, we just addressed that before you came on, but the ladies will be appearing for the first time, probably dressed from head to toe. But what the heck? I mean, Natalya against Lacey Evans, I think it's going to be magnificent.
I mean, just think about that for a moment. Just take a step back and think about the history that they are making tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. Yes. All right. Brian V said, Charlie Bryan from the WSC Lounge, known as the Wrestling Lounge, when he was on, I interviewed him years ago, and he says, hey, Charlie. You got a hey for him?
Hello, my good friend Brian. How are you today, sir?
Okay, so Randall Davis, Bill, did you see the grown man in the crowd crying when LAX attached the Rock and Roll Express? Talk about heat. Oh, yeah, the Rock and Roll Express tonight getting beaten up and like really bad. It's amazing the longevity that these two have had.
Absolutely. I mean, Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson have found the time machine of youth, and they are living the dream. They are currently the
NWA Tag Team Champions. And Ricky Morton went through the stage. He was powerbombed through the stage. That was unbelievable. So, by the way, did you see the fan holding up the sign, Chris Jericho, you took my crutch, you stole my crutch?
I did.
You did. Yes, that was unbelievable.
Chris Jericho is another person who has stolen the time back from the Reaper of Time.
He looked like young Chris Jericho tonight with the hair down. I haven't seen him do that look in years. He looked exactly like young Chris Jericho.
And how cool is this main event coming between him and Cody now? Situation of the 3 judges at ringside. I think that's a very, very cool and very unique opportunity.
Oh, absolutely. And they have not announced who the 3 judges will. I can tell you that the 3 judges will not be Mo, Larry, and Curly. I can tell you that. Correct?
No, it will not be. It will not be. It will not be.
All right. Let's see. Colonel Quayle says Briscoe's redneck kung fu. I don't know what you mean by that. Randall Davis, ACH has already received way more attention than he deserves for that whole deal. Oh yeah. Well, that's. I guess we should talk about that, Uncle Charlie. And I usually stay away from controversy, but I didn't see any kind of. No, you know what? We're going to pass this by. We're going to pass this by. It's a little too sensitive.
It's something that you taught me a long time ago. There's so much negativity. Everyone wants to focus on the negativity of wrestling.
Yeah.
How about we focus on the positive of both great shows tonight?
Yes, they were both fantastic. Joker Jack says, what would your opinion be if Aaron Stevens took Kenny Starmaker Bolin on as his manager in NWA? I would love that. I would love to see Kenny Starmaker Bolin back in full form. He lost a lot of weight, so it's not full form. Back in the business again. And I think let's talk NWA Power. Have you seen the show?
Yes. Oh, I'm a huge fan. I am a huge fan.
Well, you lost weight, so you're not as huge a fan as you were, but you're.
Well, to me, I grew up in the Carolinas, so watching that is like for me going back in 1985 and watching old school NWA wrestling from the studios, and I just love the theme. I love the atmosphere of it. I think that there's I want to give a big shout out to Zane and Dave Dawson, who's been part of my promotion from the day one. They are finally getting some national exposure they deserve. But I think NWA is still lacking some stuff. I think that no matter what, it's cool that it's on YouTube. It's cool that it's really making waves and getting lots of viewership, like that. But it needs to secure a national television deal.
Well, they don't want to do that. See, I think what's going to happen is that even if they don't want that, you know what I would do? And I've mentioned this before, and this is something nobody else that I know of has thought of, is if I was the person that ran the WWE network, I would love that show on my network.
Obviously, WWE, they kind of tested out waters a little bit this past year with Evolve, the first time ever an independent WWE network from the arena.
Sure.
That's definitely, I think that's something that they could look at. You just have to, obviously, just like with everything, there's contracts. There's people that, have other deals in other places, doing on different, formats and everything. But
I think it would look great on the network
program.
I would like, even if it was on the Turner Network, again, I would love to have like a Sunday morning, 9:05, seeing that show on there. Because when I saw that show the first time, and fans, please chime in on this too. When I saw that show the first time, I could not get my eyes off of it. It was right. I was back in the Ole Anderson days, back in the studio there. It was wonderful. It's a great feeling to it.
No. I mean, that's where, if one of the biggest things for the magazines back then was, a lot of the old, you go back to the studio days, a lot of times when you pop in and out on TV there every single week, if you were a big supporter, you're one of the major reasons that it grew as big as it did. Yes.
It's just amazing. Chris Maloney with Impact working with Pro Wrestling Noah, AEW to NWA, and the 10 pounds of gold with the TNA history. I think Access TV would be, you remember when Joe Pedicino used to do that block on WATL in Atlanta that had Pro Wrestling This Week, WWE, Crockett, and all these? I think Access TV should get, this is just me being a fan, should get NWA Power and a lot of these other promotions and just run a whole night or two of pro wrestling. I think they'd be absolutely great. Ring of Honor should get in there. Modern Vintage Wrestling.
We're still wrong. We're happy where we are, but no, for them bigger independent companies, absolutely. I think that here's the thing. In independence, the reason it's never worked is no one can work together. Now companies are seeing that, and you're seeing so many cross brands and so many joint operations working together. You just put their ego to the side and focus on the fans. Can you imagine what we could accomplish now?
Yeah, now they tried that. They tried that in the past, back when the NWA was fighting the WWF, when they had all the promoters come together for Pro Wrestling USA.
The Superclass shows.
Yeah, but Vern Gagne, Jim Crockett, Bob Geigel, all of them, and they couldn't exist together because everybody wanted that to run it. So now, with all these promotions here, maybe it is feasible. And we need to talk about New Japan now opening up New Japan America. That was something, yeah.
Absolutely. Here's the thing. This is my opinion. Wrestling right now is almost like Baskin Robbins. There's so many different flavors out there. No matter if you're an old school fan, if you're into the new school, kind of Orange Cassidy kind of stuff, or you're into the strong style, New Japan stuff, whatever you're into, there's something for everybody now.
Yeah. Brian V wants to know, can Uncle Charlie bring Stro from WCW to the Fan Fest? What do you think?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Can you bring Stro to Fan Fest?
I'm sure he's busy, and he's an incredibly talented guy. I haven't seen him in a couple of years, but I'm sure he's being booked out everywhere. You never know.
Oh, wait a minute! I'm just getting a bulletin from Qatar, from Ali in Qatar. And Charlie, I know you've met Ali Marafi, the main man.
Yes, phenomenal promoter.
So hang on.
Has an incredible, yes.
Hang on. I want to let him know we're live. I am live now. You're watching me type right here. Can I say that? He just gave me a scoop, but I don't know if he's ready for me to say this, because we did announce that Eric Bischoff and the QPW champion Alberto Del Rio will be making an announcement in November about the big show coming to Qatar in February. He says I can read this. Here is a scoop. Nobody else has got it. You ready?
Sign me up.
Eric Bischoff. Oops. Hold on. You still there, Uncle Charlie?
I'm here.
I was so excited I knocked the speaker down. Eric Bischoff is going to be the general manager of Qatar Pro Wrestling shows. We're planning to make him general manager for 2 years. We believe that Eric can improve our shows performance. So I don't know if Eric has. I don't think. Let me ask Ellie if he's signed yet. Hold on. Has he signed? This is pretty cool. Doing this to the other side of the world. Whoever thought we'd be able to do this, right?
I mean, look, this is what I was talking about earlier. Look at this. You have a great promotion overseas that's bringing something like Eric Bischoff there for 2 years. Can you imagine? I mean, wrestling's the coolest thing to be a part of, right?
Yeah. Now he's not. Ali doesn't run shows all the time. He has several shows per year. So I'm waiting for confirmation. I said, Ali, we are live. Has Eric signed? And I'm waiting for his answer here. But just the fact, by the way, did you know, Charlie, that I've never been to Qatar? He's invited me 100 times, and he put me in the Qatar Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame because I've always helped promote their message of wrestling in that part of the world.
Yeah, you have that. That's an incredible thing. I've spoken to him as well. We've tried, and we may be one day being able to bring a modern vintage match there, which would be really awesome for us. But we've talked about it, kind of trying to put our ducks in a row for that. But if I can shamelessly promote something for this weekend, which is cool.
Hold on. We're going to get to that in a second. He said he signed for one show, but we were discussing about 2 years. Okay.
Well, that's a
this is a scoop.
Very ambitious opportunity.
Yeah. So go ahead and shamelessly promote something coming up. What date are we talking about? Because some people watch the replay.
That would be November the 2nd. That will be in Bellevue, Illinois. I will be taking the Gimmick Tree van out. I will be leaving here tomorrow afternoon. As you guys are all trick-or-treating, as I will be heading to the St. Louis area with my good friend Herb.
Herb Simmons.
Herb, yes.
Yes, of course. SICW. I'm in their Hall of Fame, too. Herb is one of the when you talk about one of the real good guys in professional wrestling, there's nobody better. Really.
No. For the years that he's been involved in this, the experience, the incredibleness that they have out there. They have a promotion, SICW. It's incredible. It draws those 300 to 400 people in their same building, and they're constantly on the road now. And we are doing the Four Horsemen reunion with Arn Anderson, J.J. Dillon, and Barry Windham will be with me all weekend in the St. Louis area. So if you're you can hear my voice. My hand is reaching out to your hand, and I'm touching you right now and telling you to get to Bellevue, Illinois, Saturday night and meet Arn Anderson, J.J. Dillon, and Barry Windham.
Yeah, wow, that's going to be great. Make sure you send all the Apt to Chatter fans regards. So were you surprised when Eric Bischoff's tenure in WWE ended pretty quickly?
Yes, I was very surprised. I feel that my personal opinions of that is that Eric was using a scapegoat.
Really?
To be very honest with you.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. Everybody knew the first episode of SmackDown was going to be huge ratings. It was going to do, they had The Rock. We knew that. We knew they were live in LA. They had celebrities. What were they going to do the following week? And we've seen the decrease in the ratings. Yes. And unfortunately, Fox paid the WWE a lot of money to be on their network. And what is the easiest way for WWE to say, we've got a handle on this, we're going to fix this? They let Eric Bischoff go. Yeah, Eric Bischoff's a big name. Yeah. He's a recognizable name. He's a very, has television history that they've got their thumb on it. I think it was a mistake. I think, how do you bring someone in and within months not going to truly develop what they could have done?
Well, it's just like any other job. You have a most jobs have a 90-day trial period. So I guess they tried him and the trial period, and it just didn't click. But I think he's going to be a big benefit to Qatar Pro Wrestling. I really do.
I think that he will help them out. I think that Eric will. Eric obviously has an incredible podcast with Conrad.
Oh yeah,
they do huge numbers every week. He obviously he'll be in Baltimore Starcast, and very interesting what he has to say live on stage. But I'm very interested to see if he ends up in AEW.
That was one of my first thoughts, that Eric Bischoff would be excellent. And do you know in what role? He would be excellent as coming out of the limo with the Inner Circle, with that smug look on his face. And I think that would get over like $1 zillion, not $1 million, $1 zillion.
I would honestly, that for an online character, absolutely. But behind the scenes, you got to think about the team that, yes, AEW is on fire right now.
Yeah.
And they have a great team, but you need people that are detailed people. He's a very detailed guy, and he's worked in networks before. I'm not saying give him the reins. I'm not saying give him like full power. But if they would allow someone like Eric Bischoff to come in, AEW could do nothing but learn from him.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, absolutely, and especially in the production end as well, because he's always been a behind the scenes guy. I mean, we know him as that smug guy on camera, but he's a behind the scenes guy. Charlie, a couple of more things here that some of the fans are asking. One of them, Papito Flow 78. Hello, Mr. After. Will you be attending the Survivor Series in Chicago? Not at this point. I'm not booked there right now. And of course, I'm not sure which team I would be on either. Colonel Quail, will we see CM Punk wrestle again? My opinion, absolutely. Don't know where, don't know when, but all these people that are angry and quit and all, when there's a big money payday, something spectacular and the right gimmick and the right storyline, they all come back, don't they, Uncle Charlie?
That old saying, never say never in this business.
Yeah.
And I mean, would we ever think you'd see the Ultimate Warrior come into the WWE Hall of Fame?
Yeah, yes, absolutely. All right, so we're getting, Uncle Charlie, I'm going to ask you to hang on so I can talk to you once we get off here, because I have some important things to discuss with you about you bringing Billy Gunn into the fan fest here, because I'm upset about it, because the guy just doesn't like me, and I don't know if I can be in the same room as him.
Well, I mean, it's a 4,000 seat arena, so we'll find space to keep you guys apart.
All right. Well, although I really do like his wife, and I are good friends.
His wife is phenomenal. His wife is one of the smartest behind the scenes people in the world. She
absolutely.
Very little credit.
And his son is a really budding, upcoming superstar.
Yes, he has a great future ahead of him in this business.
He certainly does. Okay, so as I say to all of you every week, thanks for being here. After's Alley is never complete without all of you. I'll ask Uncle Charlie this question. Uncle Charlie, is wrestling fixed?
I didn't know it was broken.
Oh, he had the answer. So we'll see you, and I've got to get to the click. We'll see you where, Uncle Charlie?
At the matches, my friend.
At the matches, yeah. Uncle Wonka signing off.